Hey, Mark, the guitar guy here, and as promised, we're going to be coming back with some more cool stuff to add to Cannonball, the lesson for this week. So what I thought we'd do to start with is start with some really cool chords in the left hand, okay? So instead of doing your basic E minors or whatever, we'll just try and break things down a wee bit, and so you've got a few more variations. Now, a lot of times these variations you can use with any other song. So if you've got, for example, there's a D chord that I do like this, which is a C shape moved up 2 frets, and which we'll get to in a second, but you can use that D shape, that variation, with a lot of songs. It just adds more colour to your playing. So instead of playing a typical D or a typical G or a typical whatever chord that is, it's nice to be able to have variations, and that's all that we're doing with the left hand. So let's get into it. So I'm going to play through a little bit of the intro, and then I'll break down some of the things I'm doing and explain what's going on. So you can see already there's a melody happening within there. So what I'm doing is an E minor. I'm actually doing that with one finger. You don't have to do it with one finger, but I've got in the habit now, because I'm lazy, of doing one finger and keeping it really close to the frets, and I can actually cover 2 strings at once, and it frees up the other fingers to do other cool stuff with. It's just part of being lazy and part of wanting the benefits, I suppose, of having those other fingers free to do other cool notes. So you don't have to do it that way. You can do an E minor with 2 fingers, but the next chord we're going to do, instead of doing a C, a basic C add 9 or a C, we're doing a little melody within the chord. I'm actually doing that little line there. So what I'm doing is my second finger is holding the 3rd fret down, my little finger is going to play the note on the 4th fret on the string below, so it plays the melody. So I'm getting, all that is on the D string, which is the 4th string, and all I'm doing is going 4, 2, hammer on 0, 2, and then 0. So I'm going. In the same time, while my second finger is holding the same note down. So, and sometimes I use my little finger like I did then, but I go. And I'm just playing, the second finger note plays like the 3rd fret there on the 5th string, and it stays there the whole time while the other note's moving. It sounds bizarre, a little bit clashy initially, but it sounds cool within the chords. So I'm doing half a bar of E minor, and I'm doing a down up, like a da 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 down. And then, now when I'm strumming that, it's all downstrokes. I'm strumming, you can actually strum all 4 strings if you want to in the middle of the guitar. And it should still sound cool. But aiming at the 2 strings, that's important, but try to get those 2 strings going, but you can actually hit a few more. Then we've just got a G. Then I do like a cheats version of the top part of a D with an F sharp bass, and I do a little hammer on that 2nd fret note. So I go G, then I do that little riff there, which I'll show you in a second. So I'm going G, half a bar. I'm doing like the top half of a D chord with an F sharp bass, which is just so I'm just playing one note, the 2nd fret, so it's just 2, 0, 0, and then I'll play like or some sort of riff where I'm doing a hammer on 0, 2 on the 5th string. I could do that, or I could do. I'm just setting up my E minor. Sounds quite cool. So I'm going G. So forgive me if I'm taking a while to sort this out, because sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing and it sounds kind of nice, and I'm thinking, how do I explain how I do that? And that's exactly that with that second part of that chord. So the G's easy, and this D with an F sharp bass. I'm actually preempting the E minor. G, so I'm D with an F sharp bass, and then or a, which is just an E minor. I'm just hammering on the notes, each note one by one, and doing the E note at the end. There's a different version of it now, different fingering. All all sorts of variations. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Just do something within that and keep your right hand tick-tocking. It should sound super cool. I do it different every single time, guys, so there's not an exact science of that last chord. So that's that one. And there's different variations of that. I do these cool little things, these little chimey things within that as well. But that first one's probably the way to go to start with to get the melody. Then the last one, we've got an E minor. We do a C chord, and what I'm going to do is C. What I'm doing is a C for the first strum, lift my first finger off. It's technically a C major 7, but. And then we've got there's a little melody that happens in the second fret there. So what I'm doing there, C, lift my first finger, second finger's going to come down, play the second fret note on the G note, which is on the G string, which is the third string. So it's a 2 there, then a 0. So I'm just aiming at that general area, but I'm picking a few strings around it. Or that sort of thing there. So it doesn't have to be too accurate, but I'm just, as long as that melody is in there, which is 1, 0, which is part of the C, 0, then 2, 0, which is still keeping my other fingers on to hold the other part of the C, then to a G, a D with S sharp bass, A minor. So that, what I'm doing there is A minor, and then first finger off, just like we did with the C, then just taking the fingers off after that. So from the A minor chord, finger off, then it's 2 on the third string, 0 on the third string, and then 2 on the fourth string, okay? And again. That's how I'm doing that. Then it's a C. Now this part's cool. Instead of doing a D, I'm going to just drag the same chord up 2 frets, and it gives us a kind of a chiming, close note, haunting version of a D chord. There's a C, and technically a D chord. It's a C moved up 2 frets. Now the notes for that, from the top string, we've got 5, 5, 4, 0, 3, 0. 5, 5, 4, 0, 3, 0. Dial that number and you can call me anytime you want. Sounds bizarre by itself, but it's just nice when you put it to the... Sounds nice and chimey. Okay, so that's kind of the intro, and also we can also use all those shapes for the verse. Now I've just got the chorus to go. So we've got a G, C add 9 is all I'm doing. But with a D, I'm doing something different with the D. I'm adding the extra notes, which is awesomizing the chords. If you've ever seen the awesomizing videos, that's all I'm doing, is adding the little finger off, on, giving all those other notes within a little melody within the chords. So G, C add 9, D, and then I funk it up a bit. See, I'm just mucking around with it. I'm just awesomizing that D. Then we do the same thing we did in the verse in the A minor. C to the D dragged up. Pretty much that's the whole song, really. It's all that's going on. So there we have the left-hand side of things. All I want to worry about is with that at the moment. We'll do a little bit of right-hand stuff next time. When we come back on Wednesday, we're going to break down the right-hand section and maybe come and look at a few variations when using a capo, just to make that a bit different, because I doubt everyone out there has my lower voice, and I'm sure there's people out there would like to sing it a little bit higher, and so we'll show you what we can do with that and make it beautiful and chimey and do some of these cool little things. So I hope you like that lesson. I hope that makes some sense. There's some bits in there which are a little bit confusing for me to even explain, but I'm sure if you muck around, do your own thing and do your own version of that song, it should sound absolutely amazing with some of these cool little variations. I'm looking forward to hearing your comments. Can't wait to see you guys again soon. Mark the Guitar Guy signing off. See you later.